I do not even want to know how much money I've spent on all of this hiking gear. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Indigo from the Indigo Sahara travel blog, and today we are packing for a very exciting trip. My husband and I are going to Glacier National Park. We're car camping, hiking, all of that fun stuff in the national parks next week. And we have a lot of packing to do, but I thought it would be really fun to do a quick little hiking gear haul. We're gonna talk about all of the camping meals that we're going to have on the trip that we've purchased. Got some cute hiking outfits, got a lot of camping gear and hiking gear and travel camera gear that I wanted to share. So we got a lot of fun things. So I thought it'd be fun to do a quick little haul before I start packing. I do want to put a quick little disclaimer because this is not necessarily a realistic haul. I would not usually spend this huge sum of money before a trip. I am a budget traveler, you all know that already. But like I mentioned in my road trip pack with me video a while back before our last road trip, we've been accumulating lots of camping and backpacking gear because we want to start backpacking, but backpacking gear can be really expensive. So we're trying to buy it in increments, like every month we get something to spread out those expensive costs. So this is like an accumulation of months and months of gathering good hiking gear. And also this is birthday money that I've spent on gear, birthday presents that we've gotten. Just want to throw that out there. Let's get into the haul now. First, I have gotten a lot of camping meals to prep for our car camping trip. We're car camping, which I'll talk a lot about in my next video where we're actually going to be packing for this trip. We got a lot of backpacking meals. We love these backpacking meals for car camping trips and camping trips and hiking trips. We tried them for the first time on our last road trip through Southern California and Southern Nevada, and we really like them. They're genuinely like having a home cooked meal in the outdoors without having to really cook anything. All you have to do is add boiled water and you have like a great home cooked level meal. So we're doing that again this trip. We have got a lot of meals here because we each have one for every single dinner. We're gonna be doing a lot of hiking, a lot of mileage, and burning a lot of calories. So it is important that we are consuming enough calories to stay healthy and maintain our weight throughout this trip. So not only do we each have 7 meals, we also each picked out 2 fun breakfast meals because for the days that we're not getting up before sunrise to get on long hikes, we're sleeping in a little bit a couple of the days and we'll have time to have some fun breakfasts. So in total, we should have 18 meals, I think. As you can see here, my personal favorites are anything like pasta, spaghetti with meat sauce, beef lasagna, all of those kind of meals. Those are all my personal favorites. Kenny really likes the breakfast skillets. So that is our plan for camping meals on this trip. Then for lunch and other breakfasts, we're going to get groceries at Walmart once we get to Glacier National Park before we start our road trip. We're gonna head to the grocery store and get like PB&J, snacks, all of that fun stuff for the whole trip, but this all covers our dinners. We bought all of these meals at Sierra. I love going to Sierra. It's basically like the TJ Maxx of the outdoor world, so you can find lots of good deals on outdoor hiking, adventure type gear. We also picked up some ginger candy, which I see Kenny already broke into because he gets car sickness, motion sickness, so these ginger candies really help with that. So we picked up some of those. And to actually boil the water for our backpacking meals, we upgraded our camp stove to the Jet Boil camping stove. I'm so excited to try this out and to use it. I've heard really good things about the Jet Boil. It's supposed to boil water in 2 minutes, and we can use it where open fires are not permitted. So I'm really excited to use this on our trip this time around. We borrowed my dad's camping stove on our last trip, very similar to this one, but it was a cheaper version and we didn't own it. I borrowed it from my dad. So I'm excited to upgrade and to have one of our own. By the way, I'll link as many products as I can in the description in case you're interested in checking them out too. They'll be in the description, of course. Next, like I said, we're trying to accumulate backpacking gear. Even if we haven't been on an official backpacking trip yet, we're trying to accumulate the gear that we'll need. But one of the things that we'll probably want are lightweight collapsible mugs for coffee and tea while we're in the backcountry. So with my birthday money this year, I bought myself a Sea to Summit Frontier collapsible cup. And then I also bought the same one for Kenny. I actually need to wash these before I pack them. This was reminding me. So I'll open one up to kind of show you what it looks like. Collapses down super thin, which is gonna be perfect for backpacking, but also because we're flying to our destination, we're trying to condense all of our camping gear into a suitcase. So this will be nice to pack for that as well. Then it uncollapses into a mug, which will be really nice to have for our coffees in the morning. It also has, in the inside, it has a little measuring cup, which is kind of nice if you're cooking outdoors. Our plan is to just use them for coffee and tea in the meantime. I got this pretty cream color, and then I got Kenny a blue color. For coffee, we're gonna be planning on buying instant coffee packets once we get there. When we're grocery shopping, we're just gonna boil water quick in the morning and use the instant coffee to make our morning coffees. Kenny drinks his coffee black. I do not. So I am actually trying for the first time these dried coconut milk creamer packets from Coconut Cloud. I've tried their vegan hot cocoa and their chai mixes, and they're really good. So I have high hopes for these salted caramel dried coconut creamer packets. Try them out. Hopefully they work great. And they're even advertised as travel friendly because they are dried. So I just got them on Amazon. I was really stoked to try them out because I'm avoiding dairy right now. So I was a little bit worried about not having anything to easily put in my coffee in the morning that wasn't dairy. So this could be a really great option if you're also dairy free. A few more things in terms of food for this hiking gear haul. A couple of them are really important for Glacier National Park in particular, or any place that you're in bear country. We got a bear canister, a Bear Vault, a BV 500 to be exact, to store all of our food to make sure that it is not accessible to the bears. That's super important for not only human safety, but also for bear safety, that you store your food properly while you're in bear country. So we invested in a bear canister that we'll use many times in the future. If I take it out, it looks like this. We got a large one to store all of our open food while they're in our car. I have another product that I'll share next in this haul that we'll use on our day hikes. But since we're car camping and we're going to be literally living in the car, I want to make sure that at the very least our open packages and smelly foods are stored properly while we're sleeping in the car and while we're out on our day hikes away from the car. Some parks you have to store all of your smelly products and all of your food in a bear canister the whole time you're there. This isn't the case in Glacier, but I will link the National Park Service web pages about Glacier and about bear safety in general in all of the parks in the description, so you can kind of gauge whether or not you need a bear canister for your trip if you're going on one. But since we'll need one in the future eventually anyway, we decided to get a large one for this trip to store our food while it's in the car. Speaking of bear safety, while we're on our day hikes, some of which might be upwards of 10 to 15 miles, so we're gonna be on long hikes on this trip, I wanted to make sure that the food we have on us is also stored properly while we're hiking. I did a lot of research on the National Park Service website, also on Reddit forums, and just everywhere online to see if we needed to carry our food on hikes in a bear canister while we're hiking. And from my research for Glacier, it sounds like we don't necessarily need to if we're just out on a day hike. Obviously a different story if you're gonna be backpacking in Glacier and doing overnight hikes in the backcountry. But from what I learned, it sounds like a lot of people just use plastic baggies for the food on their day hikes there. I'm a little bit leery of the bears there. So I did buy these smelly proof Ziploc bags for the food that we're taking out on our hikes every day. They're reusable Ziploc bags that are supposed to be smell proof so that the bears and other wildlife can't smell your food. So this is what we're gonna store our food in on our day hikes while it's on us. And then I also got new hydration bladders for both Kenny and I, since we'll need them for our really long hikes. Now for a few random camping / backpacking items. Couple camping hygiene items. One is this cat-hole trowel so that we can go number 2 in the backcountry when we're backpacking eventually, and also at our primitive campsites that we'll be staying on for this trip that don't have toilets. Leave no trace. We just got a super cheap, like $2 one on Amazon because that's all you need, and it's lightweight, which will be nice for backpacking. I also bought a few packs of the Royale Gentle Feminine Wipes that I really like bringing on my camping trips to make sure all the hygiene is good feminine-wise. I will buy body wipes once we get there, and probably like Huggies or something too that will of course pack out if we use them. And then Kenny can use those too. But I personally make sure to get pH balance wipes for feminine purposes. I really like these. They're gentle. Highly recommend for all my ladies. Dry bag. We will be whitewater rafting, which I'm super excited about. So I want to bring a dry bag just in case we need it for that. I'm sure they'll provide them, but I figured we'll use it eventually anyway. So I picked that up at Sierra. I also picked up a few carabiners, or 2 carabiners at Sierra. They were cheap. It was a 2-pack. I figured we use them for something on this trip, if not our next trips. And then I also got LED camping string lights for our campsite. I'm really excited for this. This will be really nice to have at night. I always use a headlamp at night when we're car camping so that I can see what I'm doing in the dark, but this will be really nice to have in our car or outside our car. So I'm really excited for this. I got this with birthday money since it was a fun little way to elevate our campsite. Comes with a retractable wheel, it says, which will be nice for traveling with because then they won't get tangled. They're also rechargeable, which will be nice. So we can just recharge them in the car while we're driving if we need to, if they die. This will be really fun to have. Another backpacking essential that we bought this summer while it was on sale at REI is a backpacking tent. We will not be bringing it on this trip because we aren't going to be tent camping at all. We're going to be car camping the whole trip. So we're not packing it for this trip, but we will need it eventually. We got the half dome, the REI half dome 2-person backpacking tent. While it was on sale, it was like $150 or $200 off. So we were like, now's the time to buy it. So I did want to mention that as well as part of the haul, even though we won't be using it for this particular trip. Okay, next little category. Let's go over some camping and hiking clothes that I bought. I love making cute hiking outfits that are practical and also that I feel good and confident in. So I did buy a couple new items. Actually, some of them were birthday gifts as well. The first thing I'm really excited about is this pair of Athleta hiking shorts from Sierra. Like I said, they're Athleta. If you aren't familiar with the Athleta brand, it's very expensive, like comparable to Lululemon prices. And I got this pair of hiking shorts from Athleta at Sierra for $9.99. Round of applause. Yes, thank you, thank you. They'll be really nice for this trip because it is supposed to be warmer. Tried on hiking shorts at other places before, but I just couldn't justify spending so much money. At this point in my hiking journey, I couldn't justify spending a ton of money on a pair of hiking shorts when the only time I'll wear them is on a hiking trip. I won't wear them at home. So I had a hard time justifying spending like $50+ on them, but $9.99 I can justify. So I am very excited about these. I also got a couple pair of hiking pants. These are actually my first hiking pants. Usually I hike in leggings, but I did get 2 pairs of hiking pants, both from Eddie Bauer. They're actually the same exact jogger, just in different color and different sizes. They were on clearance, so I wasn't super picky about the sizes. The green pair is a tall, I believe, which I am 5'8". So finding tall pants is always like finding a needle in a haystack in clearance racks. So I was very excited about those, although they were a size up. So I did also get a pair of like my true size in just the regular pant. They're a little bit shorter, but they are still really cute, from Eddie Bauer. I bought these on my birthday. I was shopping with my mom and sister who are not outdoorsy at all. So they were just waiting for me as I was looking at Eddie Bauer. And when I came out of the fitting room wearing these, they both were like, oh my gosh, those look like really nice dress pants actually. Even the non-outdoorsy girls in my family said that they looked good. So that's how you know that they look good. And they are like a nice athletic material. Yeah, if you're looking for a nice looking hiking pant, these would be a good option. And then lastly, I did get a few new sweatshirts and base layers for this trip. I thought that this park was going to be very cool. When I first looked, the average temperature in Glacier National Park was in like the 60s in August, which is when we're going. But it's really throwing me through a loop because the forecasted weather is now in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know how much I'll use these base layers on this trip, but I'll show them anyway. I just got a simple black fleece base layer from Eddie Bauer, I believe. Yes, from Eddie Bauer. And then I also got this really cute teddy from Eddie Bauer that was also on clearance. Both of these were on clearance, and we were at the Eddie Bauer outlet, so everything was just really cheap. But I did get this pretty blue teddy. Don't know how much I'll use it on this trip. Maybe at night it'll be nice to have. At the North Face outlet, I also got this pretty blue base layer sweatshirt, another fleece material sweatshirt. I love the color of this one too. My idea was that I would match the glacier lakes in Glacier National Park with this color. We'll see how much I wear it because it is supposed to be significantly hotter than I was planning. Oh, and I also did get another pack of these crew compression socks from Amazon. I really like hiking in them. They are tight like compression. I actually work out in them every day. They stay in their place the whole time you are active, which I like, and they're pretty moisture wicking even though they're not wool. So if you're looking for a vegan moisture wicking sock option, I think this is a good idea, and they're really cheap from Amazon. So I got another pack of those. Now, lastly, I would like to show you a few new travel camera gear items that I got before this trip. Not necessarily for this trip. I'll use these camera gear items on all my trips probably, but before this trip, I made a few upgrades. First, I got the Canon EF 70 to 300 millimeter f4 to 5.6 zoom lens. This is a very affordable telephoto lens, and I always use a telephoto lens in the mountains to make the mountains in the background of my photos look bigger and get good lens compression. I did just post a video a few weeks ago with some of my best travel photography hacks. Lens compression I talk about in that video, so I'll link that video here so that you can watch that next if you're interested. But the zoom lens that I had, I actually bought on a whim on a trip when mine broke. So it wasn't the best telephoto lens out there. It was just like what I had access to on the trip I needed it for. So I got a better one for my Canon 5D Mark IV that I'm shooting on right now. I'm really excited to take this into the mountains and also hopefully use to get some good wildlife shots while we're there. I got that lens from Adorama, and they were running a deal that with the lens, it came with free filters. And they originally sent me a filter adapter ring and a CPL filter for the new lens. This is probably one of the most underrated gear pieces in my travel camera gear set, and that is the capture camera clip. I just got the Peak Design one, which is kind of like the name brand one that most travel photographers use. And basically it's a little clip that enables you to attach your camera to your backpack strap so that you don't have to go into your backpack every time you want to take a picture while you're hiking, while you're out and about on trips. It is so, so nice to have easy access to your camera without having to dig into your backpack every time you want to take a photo. I had another cheaper version from Amazon before, but it kind of broke. It wasn't really working. So that's why I ended up buying like the name brand version that most people have. Hopefully it works better than my last one. I wanted to get it before this trip because I'll definitely want it while we're on those long hikes. And lastly, Kenny for my birthday gave me the new GoPro Hero 13. I had a super old GoPro before he upgraded me to the 13. And I'm really, really excited to bring it on this trip because like I said earlier, we are whitewater rafting. So I'll be able to get some really cool, crisp, epic shots of that rafting trip with this camera. I'm really excited to use it on this trip and in the future. And it was really, really good birthday gift idea on his part. It also came with a waterproof shutter remote wrist mount. So it's basically like a wristlet that you can hit record with, which again will be nice on that rafting trip, so I'm not having to click record on the physical camera. And then it came with an extra battery, and I think that's it. That was my birthday present from Kenny, which was a really good birthday present, and I'm excited to bring it on this trip. Now it is time to pack all of this plus our car camping gear. So I am going to go do that. That video will come out next week. If you want to see more of the packing process for our hiking and car camping trips, definitely subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that next video. Other than that, I will see you in next week's National Park Pack With Me video. For now, ciao.